Hello everyone, we are from class BIS5012 English for Research Purposes, Group BS9, conducted by the beautiful Miss NURUL Binti Muhammad Hisham. Our group members are me, Izzah Aliah, and NURUL AMIRAH. Our research project is titled The Injustice of Fast Fashion to the Environment and Workers in Asia. Let's go! First, let's take a look at the key definitions of our topic. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion is described as a ready-made, affordable choice of clothing. The term fast comes from the quick pace of fashion trends and how rapid it moves, hopping from one trend to another. Fast fashion is heavily inspired from celebrity culture and catwalk looks, which will then get transformed into cheap and trendy garments available for consumers. It is one of the most in-demand industries in the world and famous among youngsters. But over the years, fast fashion is proven to be infamous for contributing to most of the world's environmental problems and being unfair to the workers, plus causing extensive damage to the planet, as well as exploiting workers mainly in Asian countries.
So the next one is problem statement. So fast fashion is still a significant trend today in large part due to the existence of various textile manufacturing companies that support it, like Primark, H&M, and Uniqlo. The entrepreneurs would therefore be able to offer clients garments at low prices and in large quantities because these large firms have the equipment to make clothing at low costs. So the next part is the significance of our study. So this study is primarily intended to inform customers and business owners about the effects that the quick production of clothing has on the environment and our society. It is advised that fast fashion consumers embrace slow fashion, which encourages the purchasing of clothing made of long-lasting materials for longer-lasting products. It is sincerely desired by the textile industry and the government that new legislation and regulations will make the workplace safer for textile workers. The thesis statement of our study is, the fast fashion industry is bringing more harm than good to the environment and workers from the Asia country. Continuing, there are three main objectives in our research. First of all, to clarify the definition of fast fashion and environmental injustice. Secondly, to identify the negative impacts of fast fashion on the environment. And thirdly, to recognize the negative impacts of fast fashion on the workers. Meanwhile, the research questions are, first of all, what is fast fashion and environmental injustice? Secondly, what are the negative impacts of fast fashion on the environment? And thirdly, what are the negative impacts of fast fashion on the worker?
Next, let's move on to our first discussion. What is fast fashion and environmental injustice? As described in the previous key definitions, fast fashion is described as a ready-made, affordable choice of clothing. Back in 1800s, where they made their own clothes from scratch, the phenomenon was caught early as brands such as Zara and H&M copied the high-quality looks from top fashion houses, such as Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and reproduced them at a rapid speed to sell them to the public at an affordable price. But the fast fashion industry is known for their notorious ways of making clothes, leading to environmental injustice. Next, environmental justice is described as the fair treatment towards people, regardless of their background, with respect to the implementation of environmental laws. While environmental injustice is defined as the opposite of it, this concept is used to explain the unnatural and unwanted displacement of hazardous waste sites near or inside the people of color's communities. Environmental injustice is not limited to certain geographical states and extends to an international level. The main injustice from the fast fashion industry is environmental impact to the living beings and exploitation of workers. The process of making the garments have polluted the environment, such as the textile dye is highly toxic and causes health damage to the people in the nearby river. The workers work in a very dangerous condition and injure both their physical and mental health that will eventually lead to their death.
Actually, from mass production to waste management, fast fashion has a terrible impact on the environment. The use of water in the manufacture of clothing was then brought up as being particularly concerning, surpassing agriculture as the second largest consumer of water. Besides, textile dyeing, the second largest source of global water pollution, frequently dumps wastewater into ditches, streams, and rivers, causing fish poisoning. On the other hand, rapid fashion also practices frightening waste management, since synthetic materials like nylon, polyester, and acrylic take hundreds of years to biodegrade. Washing synthetic textiles like polyester results in non-biodegradable plastics that damage the ocean environment. Apart from that, fast fashion poses societal problems such as occupational risks like noise pollution that damage the eardrum and eventually result in hearing loss. In fact, fast fashion also draws permissive laws and regulations, for instance, forced labor and child labor cases in China.
As a conclusion, it is important to educate the community about the damage done from the fast fashion industry. Researchers are needed to examine the health impact coming from the supply chain and post-consumer process. A more advanced study in the field will eventually lead to sustainable production and more ethical practices from major fashion brands. The key role to change the industry falls to the consumers. The main reason the fast fashion industry can keep moving is because of the constant demand from customers who always want to sport a new look every weekend. What can consumers do to reduce fast fashion consumption? The first step is buying less. Consumers can mix and match current clothes with old ones, and it allows consumers to be creative with their own tastes and trends. Next, consumers can thrift new clothes and recycle the old ones, as these kinds of shops are always trustworthy and give the opportunities for people who did not have the privilege to buy branded clothes at a cheap price. Finally, consumers should make their clothes last as long as they need to be by following care instructions provided inside every garment. Clothes are meant to be worn over and over again, so it is essential to wear them until they are worn out and dispose of them in the right way. The key to eliminating this toxic industry is making sure everyone do their part as to make changes, and it is safe to say that the community is moving towards a better choice as to ensure the future generations have the opportunity to see the beauty of nature without having pollution. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy our presentation.